This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're taking a look at the Osprey Aoede Crossbody Bag, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So the primary pack material that we're working with on this crossbody bag is 840D ballistic polyester. I really like the kind of textured look to it. There aren't a ton of colorways available at the time of recording. Maybe there will be more in the future, but I just think this has a very nice kind of sleek, I don't want to say fancy look, but like just kind of like a proper look. And this material is very durable, no issues with it. It is recycled, and it also is Blue Sign approved, which has a great shout from a sustainability perspective. We see that a lot from Osprey, them using recycled materials and Blue Sign approved materials, which means they're certified sustainable. So thumbs up for the environment. It also has a PFAS-free DWR coating, which is another great shout environmentally. Just overall, I can't really say much negative about the materials used on this thing, or generally speaking, most of the time, Osprey packs in general. So we got YKK zippers on this thing. I don't know if you heard that, but a chair just squeaked across the floor next door. But that's why I maybe flinched for a second. But we have YKK zippers. I really dig the pulls on these because you have the standard little YKK pull, but then you have a little paracord-like material and a little piece of plastic with Osprey on it. So if you can just grab down here, or if it's like slick or something, you can grab at where that meets. So with your kind of put your fingernails between there. But no issues opening and closing this thing. Operates very smoothly. So we have a logo here on the front, which I think is a nice kind of like pop of contrast compared to the kind of like beigey, I don't want to say boring, just like sleek material. And it's not super loud or anything, and I don't know, I like the Osprey logo, so maybe I'm a bit biased. But we have another one here on the back, which has Aoede right there, and then on the other flip side, a crossbody bag 1.5 liters. So for a 1.5 liter bag, this is kind of big, but it's very shallow, so there's not a ton of depth here. So it's better suited for flat items, as you'll see when we get inside, but it does have a kind of a bigger footprint for a 1.5 liter pack. But overall, very simple, pretty happy with what's going on the exterior. No issues with the hard plastic hardware on the strap either, although I didn't find a brand on there when I was searching for it. But just a simple design that takes up a bit more space than maybe you're used to for my 1.5 liter bag, but pretty happy with the materials on the outside. So when it comes to the harness system here, there's not a ton going on, and I don't mind that, but some users might. So I'm a little tangled up here right now. But on the strap, as you can see, no padding, no aeration, very thin. So it's going to depend what you stow inside of here. If you load this up with tech, you're kind of using it as like your tech pouch or something like that, it's going to get heavy, and then this might dig in a little bit. But if you're wearing a shirt like I'm wearing right now, that's not really going to be a problem, because even if you loaded this up with a bunch of heavy stuff at 1.5 liters, it's not going to get that heavy. But if you're wearing a tank top, or if you're wearing a thinner shirt, it might start to dig in a little bit. I didn't find it too bad, but some people are more sensitive than others to that, so just keep that in mind when you're looking at this, and if you do purchase it, how much gear you put inside. And as you can see on the back panel here, there's really no padding or anything like that, no aeration. It's just the polyester material that is the exterior. So there is a pocket here on the back, so depending on what you put in that back pocket, it's going to be more or less comfortable. I just have a foam back here right now, which you will see. So that kind of just makes a flat back panel, but if you were to put something kind of rounded in there, it might be kind of bulgy and not the most comfortable, but overall I found it to be a pretty comfortable pack. If you put a bunch of gear in there, it kind of digs in, or if you put a oblong-shaped thing back here, it might sit a little bit weird, but overall, pretty comfortable, at least in my experience. So if you are finding this video helpful, make sure you throw a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. But as you can see, I have it on my front right now. This is typically where I wore this most often. In testing, I actually wore this most frequently when I was walking my dogs. So I kind of loaded it up with everything that I needed to walk them, like poop bags and extra leashes and treats and stuff like that, and then walked around with it. So I liked having quick access, and this does offer that because we have a quick access pocket, and you also have access to the top zipper. And while I was walking, I would typically throw it onto my back like this. Sorry if I just hit the mic there. And I just found it to be pretty comfortable, and obviously when I had that stuff in there, it wasn't overloaded, so it wasn't digging in or anything like that, even with a short sleeve shirt. But then also I used it in carrying tech to and from work. Really no issues there either, but it would dig in slightly if I was wearing a t-shirt and I had it loaded up with, a battery bank and all that stuff. So because there is no really left or right, you can wear it on either shoulder. I could switch it over to go this way. Sorry, I was a little bit crossed up there. But overall, very comfortable and no real issues to report in wearing this thing. So when it comes to secondary compartments, we've got 2 to work with, so we'll dive right in. On the back side here, we have this kind of backpack panel pocket I mentioned earlier. I liked stowing my phone there just so I can kind of feel it against me. I know it's there. You obviously don't want to lose your phone no matter where you are, whether you're at home, abroad, or really anywhere. So no organization inside of here or anything like that. You can kind of see there, no padding or anything on that back panel. So whatever you stow here is kind of becoming the back panel, and I wouldn't put anything that isn't at least kind of flat there. Obviously my phone is flat, but it has some depth to it. So no real issues with putting a phone back there, but if you were to put something a bit more bulky, it can affect how you're wearing it, as I mentioned earlier. But actually I should say before we go, it does have a little bit of security because it is against your body, really no matter how you're wearing it. If you were wearing it on your shoulder, maybe it would come off a little bit. But that's a nice little protection feature, so if you do want to stow like a passport or something in there, it is against your body at all times. So unless someone gets the bag, they're probably not getting inside of there while it's resting against you. But on the front side, probably my favorite thing about this pack is this magnetic closure here. So especially, like I said, I was using this to walk dogs mostly, so this is where like all the stuff I needed to get to quickly, like poop bags, dog treats and stuff like that would go inside of here. So if I needed to get to them, I just flip it up, grab what I needed, and then use it. So I really like that, but right now I have just some stuff stowed from I think what I had stowed in it last week, because that's probably more relatable to people who don't have dogs. So I've got my Eclipse glasses. So when this comes out, these are probably feel pretty dated, but those slid in there nicely because they are flat. This thing just does really well with flat gear. So I got some Eclipse glasses for the team went out to the back of the office and watched the Eclipse last week. Courtesy of Hamad as well, our head video honcho. Bought those for everybody, and then a snack bar. So I like having snacks with me because sometimes I get hangry. So having a snack in the front compartment is very nice because I can just get some food when I need food and don't want to annoy people around me. So no organization inside of here, just a big open pocket. If you're like walking to the park and you're going to be reading a book or your Kindle or something like that, you could slide it inside of here pretty easily as long as it isn't too thick or you don't have too big of a case. If you are stowing electronics inside of here, I would use a case because there's just, again, not a ton of padding there. So if you are putting something in there, I would have a case on it, and I wouldn't put a book you're too worried about like ruffling the edges, or maybe a library book. You don't want to get a fee for returning a book that is slightly damaged. So again, very happy with this pocket. Didn't find myself using the back zippered one nearly as much, but it is nice if you have your phone or your passport or something like that and want to keep it close to you. Moving into the main compartment, this is where most of your gear is going to be stowed, I guess depending how you pack it. But we have quite a bit of space, but as you can see off the top, again, not a ton of depth here. So larger items don't do super well. I tried to put a mirrorless camera in here and it just didn't really work. It fit inside, but it just made it not very comfortable because it made it like kind of like this. Maybe not a great example, but then it just wasn't comfortable to carry and just overall wasn't a great experience. So flat items do well here. If you have a disposable camera, a point and shoot camera, or even just a very small camera, it might fit inside of there. But again, more oblong shaped, bigger items are not going to do super well here because of that lack of depth. I think it looks a lot better when you don't have bulky things in here too. But I was able to fit over-ear headphones in here, no problem. Pretty big headphones for a 1.5 liter sling. I like that those fit inside of there. Slip those to the side, and then you can see a little bit more of what's going on in here. So in this pocket here, I have my car key. Good to keep that safe. And then in the other one, I have my Chum Surf Shorts wallet. So pretty good size pockets. The car key was kind of like just swimming in there. And one time I did have this in here, and when I was walking, and I can't remember why, but I needed to like run or jog to get something, I don't even know. And this ended up in the main compartment. So it was kind of popped out because this elastic topper is pretty stretchy, but if you have a smaller item, it doesn't really clasp onto it. Even the wallet, in theory, like, I don't know, it's moving around quite a bit in there. So smaller items don't do super well there, but something bigger would really hold on to it and make sure that it didn't move. So if you have gear you don't want bouncing around, that's a good place for it. Even if it is smaller, I think the key thing was kind of I don't know, like a very unique thing that happened. I don't think it only happened once. So we also have a key clip right here. Give you a close up on that little piece of plastic there. Very easy to adjust, put your keys on and off. As you just saw, I have the Surf Shorts wallet, so my keys are on my wallet, so not super helpful for me, but I really do like how short this is. I either want my key leashes to be super short or super long. Super short so they don't get in the way, because obviously I wasn't using this, so it didn't get in my way really. or super long, so that way if my keys are attached to it, I can open the door without taking it off the clip. So this like satisfies that for me because it's very short and stays out of my way. When they're a medium length, I just find them to be a little bit annoying. But now that it is empty, something else that I really like about this is how, I guess, I don't want to say small, but it's kind of packable because the materials just kind of, I guess I'll shove this inside of here, and you can kind of just like roll it up a bit. So now you have a fairly small, compact, not super compact, but smaller than it was, and you could throw this inside your travel backpack, your day pack, wherever you're going. So to use this, once you get to your destination, just unroll it, and then you have a little sling to use, whether it be on the airplane or just while walking around a new city, going to the coffee shop, something like that. So this isn't gonna be for everybody because if you have bigger gear, it's just not gonna fit in here super well. But if you have flatter items or just not as much stuff, or if you're always bringing a Kindle or a very small tablet with you, it will fit inside of here. This will be able to accommodate it. And then again, we have the blue sign materials and recycled materials, which is great from a sustainability perspective, which is something we've come to know from Osprey. So there you have it, the Osprey Aoede Crossbody Bag. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.